Hello, everybody. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully good. We're going to wait a few minutes to see who comes on with us today. And we're going to just hold for about a minute or two. So how you all doing today? Hopefully well. Happy Mardi Gras to some of my friends down in the South. I know you guys are pretty sad about the fact that Mardi Gras is not happening right now, but we're going to hope that next year is going to be much, much better. All right. Let me get my technology together. Okay. Well, today we're going to talk about how to plan your wedding when things are really so uncertain. I know everybody wants to start planning their wedding. A lot of people's gotten engaged over Valentine's Day and the holidays, but you know, here in Virginia we only can have 10 still at venues. So I mean, that's not a lot of people, and it's really not worth going and renting a space for. You can have it, you know, at home or a very, very tiny restaurant with the space in the back. But for you guys who are newly engaged, you know, we don't know how long this pandemic is going to go. I mean, I started changing people's weddings about this time last year to this year. So we thought everything was going to be over by now, but unfortunately, it's not. So we got to move on and plan anyway. So these are just our tips for everyone. I know I've been getting a lot of questions on how do I plan my wedding even though all this is going on. And my tip is just go ahead and plan it like everything is going to be okay. I would say the best year to start for your wedding planning is not to have it like if you just got engaged. Don't do it in 2021. Do it in 2022. Plan for next year. That is my best advice. 2022, 2023. If you want to spread it out even longer. I'm not really a big on very long engagements, so I would just say plan for 2022. Plan it like you've been planning. Plan it like people normally plan. Hire your planner or go to Books a Million or online or somewhere and buy you a wedding planning guide. Join the Knots, join Wedding Wire. There are bridal shows that are about to start. However, for you to attend these bridal shows, you do have to register in advance. So you have to sign up for a time, show up for your time, then you leave, and then another group of people come in. So it's not everybody comes in and, you know, herd in and it's crowded. And so you have to wear masks. A lot of them are giving you masks at the door. A lot of them are taking your temperatures at the door. So you want to go to these events just like you were before, but you do have to pre-register, sign up for a time, show up on time for your time so you can get the biggest and best experience for you. And then at a certain time they're like, okay, everybody needs to leave, and then the second, third, or fourth group comes in after you and gets to enjoy the same experience. So do go to these bridal events that are coming up. People are really doing precautions. They're trying to be safe. They're having you wear masks. They're doing all of these things so you still can enjoy all of these wedding experiences. So don't miss out. And you can win good prizes. I mean, great prizes, like really, really good prizes. So you don't want to miss out on those. So plan for your wedding to be next year or the year after that. And then go to these bridal events. They're having boutique, smaller shows also. And they're having all kinds of like teas and, you know, socials and all these things. So try to attend some things and have fun. I know this time is so stressful, and one minute you can have 10, 1 minute you can have 25, 1 minute you can have 50, the next minute you can have 100. So, you know, The best way to find out how many people you can have at your wedding is to go on the Virginia or your state, Alabama, because I go down there a lot, Kentucky, you know, Florida, wherever, Washington, D.C., wherever you're having your wedding, you need to go to the state's CDC website and find out what the governor has said about that particular area. And I would check, you know, a month before your wedding and 2 weeks before your wedding, because you really need to give people at least 2 weeks notice on whether or not they can come or not. And so listen to the dates, the deadlines that they are giving you, because usually when the governor comes on and talks about that, he's letting you know when he's going to make a new change. Because I know we have a new change coming at the end of the month. So hopefully our numbers are going to go from 10 to maybe 50, hopefully maybe 75. We will see, or have capacity. So we're going to check on that and keep that going. Like I said, I don't know how long the pandemic is going to go. So what I highly suggest is, regardless of when your wedding is, and regardless of if it's over or not, this is just a good idea. Have a Zoom or a live feed of your wedding going on at the same time. You can hire a team, you can hire a professional group, you can hire your cousin, you can get your brother, somebody who's gonna just do the social media live feed for your wedding. You know, because people get sick. Sometimes people, jobs call them in, they can't come. A pandemic and they don't want to come. But there's always people who want to be there regardless. And so they can actually come to your wedding and be there and watch it all. Don't just stop with the ceremony either. The fun part is the reception. So you can, you know, that's where it comes in. If you hire a team versus your cousin or somebody like that, they'll do it and they'll come in and be there the whole time. Then they'll start interacting with the audience and then talking with the guests. And then the people on the live feed and the people there are talking to each other. So, and then at the end of the night, all of this is recorded. So you get to watch all of these amazing highlights you would have missed, because you're greeting people, you're cutting the cake, you're doing the toast, you're throwing the garter, you're saying your vows. So it's a great thing to watch, and you get to hear people's voices and see their faces. And unfortunately, sometimes that may be the last time you may see a grandmother or a mother in film at your event. So you have that moment just there for you to watch anytime, and that is an incredible gift by itself. So regardless of if this pandemic is over, do the Zoom or any other type of live feed for your wedding, and make sure they take it all the way through the reception, because that's where a lot of the fun is, and people start, you know, joking and laughing and commenting and giving you greetings and wishes. So you want all of that at your wedding, from the people who are there and from the people who are unable to attend. So it's just a good idea regardless of when you have your wedding. Also, you can now plan your destination wedding if you want a destination wedding. You know, there's some places you can still go, but things are going to start opening back up for you to be able to plan. And from my experience on planning a lot of destination weddings last year that we had to move along, what they do is, if you have to change your date, because they know this is a global thing. This is not U.S., this is global. They be like, okay, well, you can't have your wedding now, but we'll hold your deposit for whenever you decide to rebook your wedding. So you don't lose the money. You don't lose the money with anybody. You just postpone it all, which is still great. But for 2022, if you plan your destination for then, I don't think you're going to have a problem. So you do. Now, some of the guidelines, they are pretty strict, and they're a little rigorous for your guests and you, because some places you have to quarantine going and quarantine coming. That's a lot of time. Who has that much time on their hands? I don't know. I don't have that kind of time. And then some places that you go, you only have to get like a positive 24-hour COVID test before you go, and you have to get a positive, a negative test when you come back. So you have to be negative going and negative coming. Well, coming and then going. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so you get a test coming and going, and then you're fine. So those are some things that you have to think about when planning your destination wedding. So you can plan, do it, go. People want to get out of here. They are bored. I'm bored. I want to go somewhere. Call me. I'll plan your destination wedding. I need to leave. We all need somewhere to go, somewhere glorious. So just plan it. People are going to be more excited to come. People are excited to come to weddings. I mean, there's not a lot of things to do. So if you promise them social distancing and you actually do social distancing and mask and, temperature checks, people come. I've done several weddings during this entire pandemic. None of the people at any of my events contracted COVID because we followed the CDC guidelines and did everything we were supposed to do. You can celebrate. You just have to follow the rules, which is fun. Rules are there for us to follow, and we do that so we can all be safe. Also, go ahead and plan, when you start planning, book your venue, get your dress, book your vendors. And, the thing about booking your vendors is I know there's a lot of different vendors going out of business, unfortunately, because of this whole episode of not having a lot of events. But find somebody who's credible, who's been around for a long time, who's withstand the ups and downs of this whole wedding industry. I've been in business for over 23 years. No, I have not experienced a pandemic, but I have experienced some ups and downs of the wedding business. So we have sustained. We've been here for a while. Not that a new company is not going to be there for you, but if you're nervous about starting a plan, find you a company that's been around for a long time. Make sure you read your contracts. It's very important. I don't know how many people sign my contract and don't read it. So I try to give them highlights of it all. But read your contract. See what the rebooking things are. If they charge a rebooking fee, can you even rebook? Will they be available? If they're not available for your new dates, will they refer you somebody else and transfer your deposit over to them? Do you lose the money? These are things you need to ask. So make sure you read your contracts when you're doing these contract signings and meeting with all these vendors. It's very, 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 not that it wasn't important before, but it's very important now to make sure you don't lose out on money when planning your wedding. They're doing a lot of advertising for wedding insurance. Is it a good thing? Kinda. It all depends on which one you buy. Some of them are good, some of them are not. So, with that, read the fine print. A lot of them are just, I don't know, they're saying one thing, you pay, and you don't really get a lot. So make sure you read the contracts of wedding insurance. Some of them are good. So check that out. But the most important thing, your most valuable thing that you can do is read the contracts of all of the vendors that you hire from here on out. Because you got to make sure that if you need to reschedule, you can. If you, what kind of fees you're going to be liable to. How many times can you reschedule? If you reschedule because of the pandemic, is there, a problem? Is there not a problem? So ask all the important questions. Now, I want you to ask me some questions. What questions do you have? I see a lot of people who are watching and, they've come on. So what questions do you have about wedding planning in these times, these crazy times? I know you have a lot of questions. Wedding planning is still the same, but a little different. So we just have to be a little bit more cautious, more aware of our surroundings. We got to make sure we know who we're hiring and make sure that people are sustainable and going to do what they're going to say they're going to do. And we have to keep up with the guidelines that are in our area and in the country if you're planning on going out of the country for a destination wedding. How can you do all this without stressing all this? Yeah, hire a wedding planner. We're great. I would love to help you. And we can do all this for you. And then you can not worry about any of it. Just have fun. But if you don't want to hire a wedding planner because you want to do it all yourself, or you feel like it's not in your budget or what have you, make sure you, like I said, go to your state's website. Check out what the governor of that particular state is saying about events in your area. Keep up with it. Have a wedding website, because that is the easiest and fastest way to be able to tell your guests, oh, by the way, we're down to 50 again. So, you'll have, unfortunately, you have to have tiers of people on your guest list. So you have tier A, tier B, and tier C, which is everybody. And so you're going to have to, especially if you send out your invitations, you're going to have to mark them out on your thing about who can come to what. And unfortunately, which is so sad, but the reality we are living in, you have to tier out your guest members and your people who you're inviting in tiers of who can come to your event. So your A is your mom, grandmother, people you have to have there at, regardless of if whatever happens, they have to be there. That's the tier A. And then the tier B is like, people who are your friends, who, you really want to be there, but if they can't, then, but these are people you really want to be there. Then C, they're not people that you don't want to be there because of, obviously you invited them. You want all these people at your wedding, but these are the people that, if they're not at your wedding, then you're not going to be like devastated, So, unfortunately, you do have to tier it out. And when you send out your invitations, can you send out multiple invitations? Yes, you can put levels on there, but the best way just to send out all the invitations and then kind of like people understand now. Before this, when you disinvited people, it was a thing, They would talk to you for like years, like 20 years. Anyway, so you can't, before you just could disinvite. But now with the pandemic, everybody knows, okay, they only can invite 10. Obviously, I'm not their mama or their grandmother or the groom's mother or, their best friend. I'm not those people. So I know I'm not going. So you put that on your wedding website. You let people know. You keep them informed. And then you don't have to make like 30 million calls and send 15,000 emails and resend your invites and spend all that extra postage. No, you just put in your wedding invitation at the bottom. All updates concerning the wedding will be on our website. Please stay posted. And then that's what they'll do. And then at, like 3 weeks before your wedding, you do a last final check. You have to check anyway for the caterer to let them know how many people are actually coming. And then that's the final say, unless there's a change in the governmental situation, which then unfortunately you will have to text people and call people and send out the multiple emails, including putting it on the website. But that's if it's at the very, very last minute. So these are some of our tips to help you plan during this pandemic. I didn't see any questions. I know y'all have questions. So if you have some questions, let me know. Inbox me. You can still post them on this replay of this post. Ask me whatever is concerning you. I will be happy to meet with you with a consultation to discuss your wedding and the issues you may be having, or maybe you're not having any issues. You just don't know how to even get started. So just let me know and I'll be happy to help you. So what did we learn today? If you just got engaged, plan your wedding like nothing is going on and have fun with it. Do attend wedding events that are coming up because they are really trying hard to make them safe and they're timing them out. You do have to RSVP. Okay? Make sure you have somebody to live Zoom, live feed, Facebook Live your wedding and your reception in your private groups and record it so you can have that for the future and they can participate whether they're there or not. Make sure you pay attention to your state's CDC guideline, the state, not the whole United States, your particular state where your wedding is, guidelines, because they're different in every different state. I know, I have to keep up with several of them. And enjoy yourself. Just stay posted, stay informed, read your contracts, and just do your thing. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be beautiful. It's just a little bit more stressful, but if you get too stressed, you can call me up, okay? All right, love you guys. Mwah. You guys have a great day. Enjoy this weather. Well, wherever you are, enjoy your weather, whether it's cold. Here in Virginia, it's warm, so I'm going to have to change out of the sweater because you see I'm sweating. I didn't know it was going to get this warm. But I see you guys later. Love you guys and happy planning. Bye.